Good evening, Belize. It's Monday night and you're tuned into News 5. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. Here's what's making headlines tonight. Belize has officially reported its first human case of New World Screwworm, making it the last country in the region to do so. We'll tell you what health officials and Baja are doing to contain the spread. Also tonight, 1 week after being shot while trying to escape from prison, Nieri Parshu is back behind bars at the Belize Central Prison, now paralyzed from the waist down. Plus, Mexico's massive Tren Maya project is picking up steam. But what does it mean for Belize? We take a closer look. And in South Sand Creek, residents of Maya Center are pushing for land expansion. We'll hear their concerns. Finally, activist Jerry Enriquez wants answers. He filed a Freedom of Information request to find out how much government has spent on external legal counsel. All that and more is coming up in just 60 seconds. Stay with us. News 5 starts now.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Welcome back. Belize has just confirmed its first human case of New World screwworm. A 21-year-old man from Benque is now the first known person in the country to be infected. This parasite was first detected in livestock in the Toledo district back in December 2024. Since then, it's been spreading steadily, with over 335 cases reported from Toledo all the way up to Corozal. But here's what's new. The Belize Agricultural Health Authority says they're now seeing more cases in pets than in farm animals. And it's not just domestic animals. At the end of July, Baja raised the alarm after 2 howler monkeys tested positive for the parasite, a sign that it's affecting wildlife too. Until today, though, no human cases had been reported. To understand what this means for public health and what actions are being taken, we spoke with Kim Bautista, Chief of Vector Control at the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
We did manage to develop a guideline, a surveillance guideline for New World screwworm surveillance and clinical management. We managed to kick off some sensitization sessions as well. And it's through that collaboration that we have and the active surveillance within our health facilities. We detected our first case in a 21-year-old male from Benque Viejo del Carmen town in Cayo, who visited the San Ignacio hospital with a lesion which was infested with what was suspected New World screwworm. The protocol that we have in place is that samples are sent to the Baja entomology laboratory because the diagnosis is done not through blood tests but through entomologic confirmation of the larvae. So physically the larvae are a few of them are removed from the wound. Those are preserved, sent to the entomology lab, where an entomologic confirmation is made by their entomologists in Central Farm. And so that was done fairly quickly the same day. And what that did was confirm the first human case in Belize. And then it also allowed us to immediately commence proper treatment in the management of that patient. So a check earlier today revealed that the patient is responding very well to treatment, and he should be released either later today or tomorrow morning. And we will be monitoring as a ministry the progress in terms of his recovery from New World screwworm.
According to Bautista, ivermectin and antibiotics were used to treat the first human case of New World screwworm in Belize. And if you are wondering how the screwworm larvae are removed from the wound, Kim Bautista confirmed that they are extracted manually. We also heard from Deputy Director of Animal Health at the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, Dr. Salustino Pech. He says Belize is the last country in the region to report a human case of New World screwworm. We asked him to explain the process of infection and if a person must first come in contact with an infected animal.
It's not random. The fly, it's always going to be looking for food. And, the fly is going to feed off from nectar. But it requires the tissue or wherever there's blood for the worms to develop. So the larvae are the ones that eat the tissue, not the fly. So the fly is going to be flying around, and if the wound is there and if it's time for her to deposit the eggs, it's going to find that wound. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't differentiate if it's a dog, if it's a cat, if it's a horse, if it's a cow, a sheep, a goat, a pig, or a monkey. It's wherever it smells blood from a warm-blooded animal, it's going to go and deposit there. Just a fly itself, it can deposit 500 eggs. That's 500 worms. And that same fly is going to come back and deposit more eggs. So, yeah, those are the importance of reporting, because whenever we take samples, we get to differentiate if there's different stages of the worm. indicating us if there's a fly around. If we get to see, for example, that there are different stages, then it could be the same fly that has deposited multiple times. Normally, they're going to deposit up to 5 times. So you can imagine the amount of worms that a wound can have, and that those worms are going to eat all of the tissue. We have been the last country in the region to have a human case, so we were doing really, really good with our surveillance and treating, but well, it was just a matter of time.
Both Kim Bautista and Dr. Salustino Pech are sounding the alarm. If left untreated, New World screwworm infections can be fatal. That's why the Ministry of Health and Wellness, along with BAHA, is urging animal owners to keep a close eye on their pets and livestock. If there's a wound, treat it quickly. And if you spot anything suspicious, don't wait, report it. Early action could save a life.
The message basically that the Ministry of Health and BAHA is pushing is for pet owners and animal owners on a whole to practice proper wound management, and the same goes for you. So if you have a cut or some wound, it's to ensure that it's properly cared for, whether you're putting in a bandage or any topical medication to avoid any infestation. It's the same that is being applied.
I would imagine given the severity of the effects that this has on the flesh, human or animal, this can prove fatal if not treated and taken care of properly.
Yes, of course. It all depends on where the wound is. Let's say, for example, in dogs, we have been seeing dogs that their whole face gets eaten out, or the whole eye, they lose an organ, and there are some cases where, it's really sad to see that sometimes owners, they don't take care of their animals. Talking a bit more about the life cycle of the fly, the eggs are deposited in 12 hours, the worms are already out. So we're talking that in the morning, the fly comes, deposit the eggs, and in the evening you already have worms there. It takes about 2-3 days for it to evolve into the second stage, and then in 4 or 5 days it's already at a good size at the third stage. And so it's very fast that damage can be created.
Police are on the hunt for a Belize City man following a frightening domestic incident. According to Assistant Commissioner of Police Gilberto Romero, Dwayne Tillett allegedly showed up at his ex-girlfriend's home in a North Creek area, and things quickly took a dangerous turn. Investigators say Tillett pulled out an unlicensed firearm and tried to shoot, but the gun jammed. He then fled the scene and, as of now, remains on the run. Police are also looking into whether Tillett is the same person who recently pointed a gun at an officer in Belize City. That's still under investigation. But authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward.
On Friday, the 15th day of August 2025, Ali Jones reported that she was at home at North Creek when Dwayne Tillett, who is her ex-boyfriend, came to the house. There was a confrontation, at which point Dwayne Tillett pulled out a firearm and pointed at her direction and pulled the trigger, but the gun snapped. Thereafter, Dwayne Tillett made good his escape. We are seeking Dwayne Tillett in regards to this report.
A quiet Saturday in Progreso Village turned tragic when 23-year-old Pablo Ball lost his life in what's being described as a freak accident. According to police, Ball was preparing meat for a barbecue when he reportedly stabbed himself with a knife, a wound that proved fatal. He was rushed to the San Ignacio Hospital, but sadly was pronounced dead on arrival. 2 people who were at the house say it was an accident, but investigators aren't ruling anything out just yet. A post-mortem is on the way, and police are looking closely at all the details to determine whether foul play may have been involved.
On Saturday, the 16th day of August 2025, police responded to a report at the San Ignacio Hospital. Upon their arrival, they saw the lifeless body of Pablo Ball, 23 years, with a stab wound to the left side of his abdomen. Investigation revealed that Bull was at home along with his common law wife, Silva Chanek, when he stumbled and he fell. The knife caused his injury. We are conducting a thorough investigation into this report. We are awaiting a post-mortem examination.
A police officer is recovering in the hospital tonight after a hit and run on the George Price Highway. 31-year-old police constable Javier Wade, who's attached to Special Branch in Belmopan, was riding his motorcycle when he was struck by a vehicle that didn't stop to help. Despite being thrown into a ditch, Wade managed to call for backup and guide fellow officers to his location. He was quickly rushed to the Western Regional Hospital and is now listed in stable condition. Police are working to track down the driver and are reviewing surveillance footage from along the highway to help with the investigation.
And on Friday, the 15th of August, police responded to an accident on the George Price Highway near the Orange Gallery. There they met Javier Wade, police constable with injuries and a damaged motorcycle. He reported he was riding his motorcycle and he was struck by a vehicle which did not stop. He was taken for treatment and is currently in a stable condition. We are seeking a vehicle in regards to this road traffic accident. He is now in stable condition.
Last week, a daring escape attempt took a dramatic turn when 30-year-old Nieri Parshu was shot in the head by guards at the Belize Central Prison. Now his life has changed forever. Parshu is paralyzed from the waist down. But was the gunshot the cause of his paralysis? And with just 4 weeks left on his sentence, will he still have to serve that time? News 5 reached out to Virgilio Murillo, CEO of the Kobe Foundation, who clarified that the paralysis wasn't caused by the gunshot wound. Murillo also confirmed that Parshu is back behind bars, now housed in the prison's medical facility as he serves out the remainder of his sentence.
Yes, that is so. He's currently paralyzed from the waist down.
What would you have understand led to this, him now facing this situation? Was it as a result of the gunshot that he received while trying to escape?
Absolutely not. According to the doctors at the KHMH, it's caused by fractured spine. Apparently, what he sustained when he fell off the fence.
How high is the fence?
That fence is approximately 20 feet high. Well, certainly we have him currently at the medic center, the prison's medical center, where he's being cared for. And we will just have to handle the situation. He certainly has to serve the 3 months, especially that he tried to escape while he was in our custody. That is a violation of the not only criminal law, but also of the prison rules. He will definitely need to stick it out until his 3 months sentence expires.
And is it possible that he could face additional charges related to his attempt to escape?
He certainly can, if the police so chooses to press escape charges for him. On him, no. We're going to offer him the care that he needs while he's here. We certainly, like I tell you, he can still certainly face attempt escape charges. However, that is up to the police. Certainly, we will just do our very best to ensure that he's comfortable and that all his needs are met.
According to CEO Murillo, Parshu is expected to remain admitted inside the prison's health facility until his release date. Coming up, Belize could be next stop in Mexico's $30 billion Tren Maya rail expansion. More when we return.
Ready for back to school with Benny's B-Books. We have limited edition Benny's exercise and composition books just in time for the new school year. Get 6 composition books for 5 B-Bucks and 12 exercise books for only 2 B-Bucks. Benny's and B-Bucks, getting you ready for back to school.
We are ready for billetes de Belice presentan a héroes nacionales, pero ¿cómo reflejan los billetes el patrimonio de nuestro país? La nueva serie de billetes celebra las dos dimensiones de la moneda, un medio de intercambio y una representación de nuestro patrimonio beliceño. El Banco Central se compromete a mantener nuestra moneda no solo segura, sino también una fuente de orgullo nacional. Cada denominación presenta un tema del paisaje beliceño, incluyendo edificios históricos, atracciones arqueológicas y marinas, cascadas y ríos, aves y vida silvestre. Estos son una parte central de nuestro patrimonio nacional y un tributo a este lugar que llamamos hogar. Nueva imagen, mismo valor, nuestro patrimonio. Para obtener más información, visite www.centralbank.org.bz. Un comunicado del Banco Central de Belice.
This is the new era of the Mexican Caribbean. A whole spectrum of colors and hues, multi-dimensional cuisine, holographic beaches. The true new era is within you.
Belize, it's that time of the year again. The Belize Carnival Association proudly presents the annual King and Queen competitions. Watch as your favorite carnival band bring gigantic jaw-dropping costume to life, bursting with creativity, color, and unstoppable energy. It all goes down at the Belize Civic Center on August 23rd, 2025. Pre-judging starts at 5 p.m. with the main show at 7 p.m. Enjoy the live performances by Kenny G and the New Creation Band and experience the magic of Carnival like never before. Tickets are only $15 for adults, $5 for kids. Be there, feel the energy, and celebrate Carnival.
Don't miss the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix Season 7 every Tuesday night at 8. Live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GBM Studios and Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Belize Media.
bringing people together.
Kayo, we have exciting news for you. RFNJ Life Insurance is now officially in your town. Now, you can visit our office to pay your life insurance premiums or speak to our dedicated agent, Mayeli, about securing your future with the right coverage.
Hi, my name is Mayeli Hoy, your designated agent here at RFNG Life in the Cayo District. I'm here to help you explore your options, answer your questions, and find the perfect policy for you and your loved ones.
Whether you're looking for life insurance, critical illness coverage, or future saving plans, we've got you covered. Take the first step towards securing a stable and prosperous financial future for you and your family. RFNG Life Insurance, now in Cayo. And don't miss our upcoming health fair on July 19, 2025, happening at the Cayo Welcome Center from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Come on out and learn more about how we can support your journey to a healthier and more secure future.
Could Belize be the next stop for Mexico's ambitious Tren Maya project? It's a bold idea, and Church Senator Louis Wade says it's not just possible, it's worth pursuing. His support comes hot on the heels of a high-level meeting between Prime Minister John Briceño and the presidents of Mexico and Guatemala. But while the promise of tourism and economic growth sounds appealing, the idea isn't without its critics. Environmental and geopolitical concerns are already stirring debate. News 5's Paul Lopez takes a closer look at the mixed reactions surrounding a project that could reshape regional connectivity. Here's that report.
Mexico's Tren Maya project is shaping up to be a massive investment, nearly $30 billion by the time it's done. Stretching almost 1,000 miles across the Yucatan Peninsula, this modern railway promises to supercharge tourism and open up new economic opportunities. And now Belize might just be next. Talks are underway to explore expanding the railway into our backyard, sparking excitement and a few questions about what that could mean for the country.
The idea with Tren Maya is that it will follow the highway. It will go through our highways as opposed to going through but we're just in initial stages, so let's not get ahead of our time or ahead of us.
On Friday, Prime Minister John Briceño was in Mexico for a meeting with President Claudia Sheinbaum. There's still no official word on what was discussed about expanding Tren Maya into Belize. But Church Senator Louis Wade is already backing the idea.
So now that Tren Maya is a brilliant economic idea because it connects Merida, it connects it with Cancun, Tulum, all the way down through to Chetumal, our neighbor. The next logical step is Belize. And so when the discussions started, I became very excited. Wherever the train needs to go, if it's San Pedro, if it's mainland, whatever it is, we need the train, and I have to become an advocate to say we need this kind of development in Belize. Mexico is able to get European as well as American tourists. Tourists from all over the world go to Mexico, and in particular Cancun, which is so very close to us. Why can't they come to Belize?
At the same time, there's growing chatter about China's possible role in funding the Tren Maya project. Earlier this year, a group of U.S. congressmen drew attention, suggesting China might be bankrolling the railway and even calling President Trump to investigate. Their concern is about potential Chinese influence creeping into the Yucatan Peninsula. Well, in a March 2025 press conference, President Sheinbaum stepped in to clear the air.
El recurso con el que se hizo el Tren Maya es público.
The resources used to build the Tren Maya are public. You can see it in the public accounts reports. Everything invested in the Tren Maya is public. The resources from the riverbed and the Mexicans who paid taxes. And that was returned to build the Tren Maya. So there is no Chinese financing. If any company had a fund at some point that was involved, well, that has nothing to do with the financing of the Tren Maya.
Interestingly, one of the companies tapped to kick off the Tren Maya project was China Communications Construction Company, a major Chinese firm that landed a contract to build the early phases. and President Sheinbaum maintains that this is as far as their influence extends. But even if China was funding the project, Prime Minister Briceño says, so what?
Well, if the Americans are prepared to put in the money, they are welcome to do so.
They told Mexico they were when Trump was in 2019, but obviously this whole thing got ahead.
I'll repeat, if they're prepared to put in the money, we'll be happy to get the assistance.
Can you say how this will impact the Taiwan commitment, the commitments you have or Belize has with Taiwan?
Which commitment?
If it were true, if China were true.
Absolutely nothing. We are very, very strong supporters of Taiwan.
Most of the tall buildings in Belize are Chinese owned. So we're not looking at the future or the potential footprint of China in Belize through Tren Maya. China is already here. Secondly, I am a full supporter of Taiwan, 100%. Riding Tren Maya or supporting Tren Maya has nothing to do with China and its political aspirations.
When asked about the potential impact to Belize's environment, Prime Minister John Briceño explained that the railway would run along Belize's highway, suggesting that the environmental impact will be minimal. PM Briceño says talks are still in the early stages, but Senator Wade believes Belize has the brain power to tackle any environmental concerns.
That is exactly what it is. It is fair, and it is fair mongering. Because the train, it uses only a fraction of the pathway in order to move or to build from point A to point B. A little gazelle or a deer or whatever animal you're trying to protect, birds, they can just fly right over, jump right over the rails and move on. It is engineering can solve any problem. We can create little areas under the rails, etc., where these animals can continue to flow to ensure that we have these corridors. We have engineers in this country who can engineer around any problem, be it manatee, be it mangroves, be it fish, be it animal, be it the reef. We don't only have environmentalists in this country, we have engineers too.
Right now it's all just talk. No official commitments have been made between Belize and Mexico on the project. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Tensions are rising in Maya Center Village, where frustration over land access has reached a boiling point. Over the weekend, residents took to the streets in protest, demanding answers from Village Chairman Francisco Pop and Area Representative Rodwell Ferguson. Leaders, they say, have been silent for far too long. According to community spokesperson Antonio Bolon, this isn't about past land deals. It's about families still waiting for a place to call their own. The villagers want clarity and are asking when will land from Texbel be made available and who will benefit. He explained that Texbel Farm has been marked for sale and villagers want the government to step in and purchase at least 50 to 100 acres to create a new expansion. For now, they've agreed to a 3-day stand down, but they're warning if there's no response by Wednesday, the protests will be back.
I am one of the concerned citizens from Maya Center Village. I am, along with the people of Maya Center, we are trying to get the attention of the government. The point we are trying to tell the government is that we need a new expansion. We need a new expansion. We have more than 50 or 80 people that they don't have any house lot. I was hearing the government, Minister Rodwell on the Law FM morning show this morning. He is saying different story to what we are standing for. The lot he had mentioned in 2007, people buy that. They have an owner. We don't worry about that. The people who is fighting it, they haven't had any lot yet. So we need an expansion, and that's the answer we want after this. If the government come with a plan today, because they are having meeting with the Minister Cordell High. We want him to say, okay, we were willing to buy 50 acres from Texbel. We don't want to hear anything in 2007 that whatever protest there by the people of Maya Center, that is not the issue. The issue we want is that we want him to come with a new expansion.
Area Representative Rodwell Ferguson says he hears the concerns loud and clear and insists the wheels have been turning since he took office. According to Ferguson, he's been working closely with the Village Council in navigating the proper government channels to resolve the land dispute in Maya Center. He explained that the next steps involve completing land surveys and getting official approval before any new parcels can be distributed. While he understands the community's frustration, Ferguson says real progress is being made, pointing to multiple trips to Belmopan to push the process forward. For now, it's a waiting game, but he's confident a solution is on the horizon.
When I assumed office in 2020, I told the present chairman, I want to pursue this document for you for the village of Maya Center. And he agreed along with the village council. I made several trips to Belmopan, along with the chairman back then, Mr. Ernesto Saki, to try to rectify the problems. We got legal advice from Mr. Graham in the Ministry of Natural Resources. I told us exactly what we need to do. So today as I speak, we have reached the point where Mr. Graham advised us that the survey needs to be completed and the plan be authenticated. I know they are landlocked. And recently again we approached the Tax Bill Limited to ask them if we can sell a portion of the land to Maya Center for expansion. But the price that they gave us per acre was very exorbitant. And so the then chairman said, boy, minister, we can't afford the price that they're giving us per acre. So we have to find another solution. So at this point in time, we are trying to figure the best way forward for the people of Maya Center.
Social activist Jeremy Enriquez is calling on the Attorney General's ministry to disclose how much public money has been spent on legal representation in recent constitutional cases. In a formal Freedom of Information request, Enriquez is asking for a detailed breakdown of payments made to attorneys and law firms since January 2025, particularly in cases challenging Belize's electoral boundaries. He argues that the public has a right to know whether legal fees are justified and whether the government is getting value for money. Enriquez also raised concerns about the lack of transparency in how external legal counsel is selected, especially when politically connected attorneys are involved. The request highlights growing public interest in government spending and calls for stronger accountability and good governance. The Attorney General's office has 14 days to respond, or the matter could be escalated to the Ombudsman. After the break, modernizing data collection for a better Belize. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Today, we're going to tell you a story based on real events. By Dengue, Chapter 1, Symptoms of Dengue. Once upon a time, there was a family unknowingly carrying an unwanted visitor. It wasn't a monster or a ghost, but something that could weaken their bodies and drain their energy. Soon, the fever arrived, accompanied by a headache, mainly behind the eyes, body aches, nausea, and a rash that spread across the skin, turning red. What should they do then? The first rule was to avoid self-medication. The father remembered the expert's advice. The key is to seek help early. So, without hesitation, he went to the nearest health center where he received the necessary care. But the story didn't end there. If another family member experienced the same symptoms, they were sent home with a list of recommendations for proper care. Rest became his most effective shield, and hydration his most powerful weapon. Drinking plenty of fluids, especially oral rehydration salts, were his allies in recovery. That's how the family learned that early action could make all the difference in ensuring a happy ending to this story. So, that's all, folks. But remember, always take care of your health.
Hola mamá, ¿cómo estás? Te acabo de enviar dinero por Western Union usando DigiWallet. ¿Usted puede creer que mi tía en México me pagó por la misma aplicación usando DigiWallet? ¡Qué bien! Sí mamá, y es facilísimo. Lo puedo hacer desde donde sea, sin filas y sin estrés. Todo fácil. Bueno mamá, te dejo, cuídate mucho.
Everyone dreams. Whether it's buying a new home or a new car, taking that long, relaxing vacation, furthering your education, opening your own business, or when you need us the most. St. John's Credit Union makes it effortless to help you harness the power of your finances. We know that life's constant change demands financial flexibility. And at St. John's Credit Union Limited, we want you to be prepared. Become a member today so you can start your journey towards safe saving, smart borrowing.
St. John's Credit Union is the leader since 1946. They work harder.
Coming up, the best of Barbados and more at Carifesta 15. International interns enjoy breakthrough opportunities. History with a side of salsa. Yes, we're in San Juan. Community programs in Dominica receive a major boost. The home base with all you can ask for.
It's all next on this station.
Belize is stepping up its game when it comes to data and decision making. This week, experts from across the Caribbean have gathered right here for a 4-day workshop focused on population estimates and projections. Why does it matter? Because solid statistics help governments make smarter choices, manage resources better, and truly understand what their people need. With demographers from 17 countries in the room, Belize is helping lead the charge toward more informed, data-driven governance. News 5's Brittany Gordon has the story.
Running a country without knowing its people is like flying blind, and that's where good data comes in. But in the Caribbean, getting reliable statistics isn't always easy, thanks to limited resources and capacity. That's why Belize, along with regional partners, is stepping up. Today, the United Nations Population Fund launched a workshop aimed at sharpening the region's skills in producing accurate, policy-ready population data. It's all about helping governments make smarter decisions. UNFPA Belize Head of Office Tisa Grant shares more on the initiative.
The discussion is going to looking at the population, the demography in the countries. So using the data from the various countries to estimate population, to project population based on trends that are related to fertility, related to migration, related to mortality. These three specific components make up what is called or would be a population policy. Not all countries in the region have one of these. But with or without the population policy, it is important for governments to have the capacity to be able to estimate their population and to be able to use that information to plan accordingly as it relates to education and health and employment and so forth.
The project is organized in partnership with the Latin American and Caribbean Demographic Center, with funding from the Korea International Cooperation Agency. It started as a project meant to bolster Belize's statistical data systems. However, an invitation was later extended to 17 other countries to foster connections between data experts and build capacity for the entire region.
The objective of the workshop is to strengthen capacities and also build connections of the people that works with the data of estimates and projections. So it's demographic analysis. And the importance of population estimates is almost all the denominators of all the rates, for data and analytics. So strengthening the capacities of NSOs to do this proper analysis and to have the capacity to analyze surveys, census data, and have estimates and project it. It's very important for planning.
Belize has a national stats office, the Statistical Institute of Belize, but getting access to full, up-to-date data across the region is still a challenge. That's why this week's training is such a big deal. According to Diana Castillo-Trejo, Director General of SIB, 16 of their team members are taking part in the workshop. She's confident they'll walk away with the technical skills needed to level up on how data is collected and used, not only in Belize, but across the Caribbean.
When we did the last census, what we noted was that, and it's something that we were expecting, that the census counts came out less than what was originally projected. And what we found was that there was a serious deficiency in our method of estimating population. And what we did then was we did an exercise of revamping our own methodology, and so this training here will just serve to strengthen that and further improve that so that going forward we don't have instances of that kind of deficiency.
The sessions combine theory with hands-on exercises covering core topics such as age, sex, fertility, mortality, and international migration trends. Chief Executive Officer of the Ministry of Economic Transformation, Carlos Paul, commended the initiative for its contribution to creating a reliable source of information for the public and the government of Belize.
For us to make informed decisions, we need statistics. And not just statistics, but we need accurate and reliable and timely statistics. So that's one objective that we are achieving from this workshop. The second thing is working in collaboration and partnering with our Caribbean countries. It's important for us when we develop something, we develop for the benefit of our country, yes, but our region, the Caribbean, it's all for us, and we're here to support our Caribbean brothers and sisters.
This training is aimed at boosting regional capacity for data collection, but also provides an opportunity for regional collaboration and partnership. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Belize is pushing forward on the path to economic resilience, and it's doing so in lockstep with the Central American neighbors. The country recently joined regional leaders at the 56th Ordinary Meeting of the Council of Ministers of Finance, which includes Central America, Panama, and the Dominican Republic. This year's meeting took place in the historic city of Antigua, Guatemala, where top finance officials gathered to tackle some big issues, from improving policy coordination to breaking down trade barriers and investing in infrastructure that connects our countries more efficiently. Representing Belize was Carlos Paul, CEO in the Ministry of Economic Transformation. He's got the details on what was discussed and what it means for Belize's role in shaping the region's economic future.
I was part of the delegation that was led by Minister Christopher Coy, who's the Minister of State, but in the Ministry of Finance. We attended the COSAFIN, the Council for the Minister of Finance, and while being there, because we have the representative from SICA countries, we had opportunity to have a bilateral with the Minister of Finance of Guatemala, and Minister Coy was able to bring 4 or 5 points of interest to Belize. So we just expanding on it, and he agreed to discuss it with his president because he was just there as the Minister of Finance, but the points we discussed was more at a national level.
So security, in what regard? How can we collaborate with Guatemala there?
Well, you know, we share borders with Guatemala, both at the western border and then at the southern, which is informal. So security is always be an issue once you share a border with any country. So it was just part of the discussion. There was not much further discussion on that because it was just a topic that was introduced.
Okay, so there were not concrete outcomes yet. They have to go back to their ministers.
That's correct. No, there was no concrete actions agreed. It was just points that we had wanted to discuss with Guatemala, and we presented to them. They agreed to look at it and come back to us.
For years, the UN has been working alongside Belize to push forward sustainable development in key areas like education, healthcare, gender equality, and social protection. Earlier this month, that collaboration took another step forward. Belizean officials sat down with UN representatives to talk about how to strengthen the government's Plan Belize 2.0, a refreshed roadmap for national development. The meeting also gave the ministry a chance to share its new strategic vision, one that's all about deepening partnerships and driving progress on the country's top priorities. Carlos Paul, CEO in the Ministry of Economic Transformation, was part of those discussions, and he broke down what it all means for Belize.
As the Ministry of Economic Transformation, we have our mandate of the multilateral development banks. UN is not a bank, but it's a partner to the ministry. So we had the honor of having the visit of Mr. Raúl Salazar, the resident representative from the UN, and again we touched on a number of topics with them, and on that one was the Plan Belize medium-term development strategy that is coming to an end. We have a medium-term development strategy 2022 to 2026, so we are in the process of developing a new strategy, and they have been a key partner in us developing the strategy and ensuring that we implement it, because they provide support to the country via the different UN arms that they have and via technical cooperation as well.
When we return, document burning prompts, transparency investigation.
All right, on the one fun day on, the window open and the light they turn off. You look like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug. We keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed. You don't look like you're so hard, yes?
Better than that, DL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter. They call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it on TV for BL. How do you know?
Yes, man. It don't reach the man better to change it right now. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you reach my area,
we're upgrading meters across Belize.
house by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and ID. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The EMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
You don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in at your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
We just take the coast out.
Belize is on the move. The coastal road is now powered by Digi's ever-expanding 4G LTE advanced network. Now you can stream that music, track that storm, or stop to send that file. Digi 4G LTE has got you covered. Digi, leading Belize's digital transformation.
Feature national heroes. But how do these banknotes reflect our country's heritage? The new family of banknotes celebrates the two dimensions of currency, a means of exchange and a representation of our Belizean heritage. The central bank is committed to keeping our currency not only secure, but also a source of national pride. Each denomination features a theme of the Belizean landscape, including historical buildings, archaeological and marine attractions, waterfalls and rivers, birds, and jungle life. These are a central part of our national heritage and a tribute to this place we call home. New look, same value, our heritage. Learn more at www.centralbank.org.bz. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
Josetón presenta Los Cumbia Kings. Los Cumbia Kings en concierto. Este 30 de agosto en el Estadio del Pueblo, Orange World Belice. Los Cumbia Kings en vivo.
No tengo dinero ni nada que dar.
No te pierdas el concierto del año que te hará bailar como nunca. General 150, VIP 200 y Platino $350. Boletos a la venta en la aplicación QuiPass, disponible en Android y iPhone. También con Orange Drag con cuellos, Shell One Stop, María's Café, Lifestyle Beauty Salon y WSK Call Center al 611 809-3677. Amor Turquesa, Boutique Belmopá. Gracias al patrocinio de
BTV, Mechas, Cuellos, Lock and Loaded, Mark Production, Quick Pass, Lighthouse,
Instituto Nacional de Cultura e Historia y Smart Belice.
It all comes down to this. After weeks of epic battles, show-stopping vocals, and jaw-dropping experiences, the stage is set for KTV The Remix Finals. Your top contestants are pulling out all the stops, performing their very own original songs, and putting a fresh spin on the smart jingle like you've never heard it before. Who will remix their way to the top 3? Who's got the voice, the vibe, and the vision to win it all? Don't miss the finals of KTV The Remix Season 7 on August 19th. The music is original. The competition is real. The energy off the charts.
Here's a story that could put Belize on the global map in a big way. The Julian Cho Society, a grassroots NGO based in the South, is gearing up to make history. They're working on what could become the world's first ever Indigenous-led project submitted to the Green Climate Fund. Now, if you're wondering what that means, it's a big deal. The Climate Fund is a major international platform that supports climate action in developing countries. And the Julian Cho Society, which has long championed the rights of Indigenous Maya communities, is leading the charge with a proposal focused on land rights, environmental protection, and sustainable development. Last week, representatives from the organization sat down with the Climate Finance Unit to hammer out the details. And leading that conversation was Carlos Paul, CEO in the Ministry of Economic Transformation. He's got more on what this groundbreaking initiative could mean for Belize and for Indigenous communities worldwide.
The Julian Cho Society has reached out to us, the Ministry of Economic Transformation, because we are the national designated authority, the NDA, for the Green Climate Fund, along with others, climate change funds. So they had put together a draft concept note. They have sat with us, and we have discussed this concept note with them, along with the accredited entity, because it's important to note that any GCF project, it cannot be implemented by no one. It has to be a national accredited entity, and in this case, PAC is the accredited entity. So we invited PAC to the discussion for us to sit down and review the concept note, because the concept note has to be aligned with two things, three things. First, that it's aligned to the SDGs, it's aligned to the country's medium-term development strategy, and to the GCF country framework that we have with them. So we are collaborating. It would be the first project that is being prepared for the indigenous sector. It's the first in Belize and the first in the region. So both Julian Cho, both PAC and us and GCF is very interesting to see how that project will come out.
And how far along is it?
It's just at the initial stage, just concept note. Then we have, once we complete the concept note, it will be provided to GCF for them to give us the green light and put together the project proposal.
Back in June, a video showing government employees burning boxes of documents on private property sparked public outrage. People were demanding answers and fast. Why were these files being destroyed, and was it done by the book? The government responded, saying the documents were over a decade old and had already been verified by auditors. But that didn't stop the Auditor General from digging deeper, requesting more details about the incident. Today, we followed up with CEO Carlos Paul to get an update on where things stand.
We received a correspondence from the Auditor General. We have, as indicated on our release, we did our internal investigation, and it was completed. We provided a response to the Auditor General. She clarified for the information. We have sent it, and we are now in the process of just ensuring that this is not repeated.
Earlier this month, a major step was taken to support children living with HIV in Belize. And it's a move that could make a real difference. The Ministry of Economic Transformation teamed up with National Health Insurance to sign a memorandum of understanding aimed at expanding access to life-saving care. The plan includes rolling out pre-exposure prophylaxis, or PrEP, across the country, a key tool in HIV prevention. But that's not all. Through a partnership with Hand in Hand Ministries, the initiative also ensures that HIV-positive children receive vital nutritional and vitamin support. It's all covered by the government through the Global Fund, and it marks a shift toward a more inclusive, community-driven approach to healthcare. CEO Paul shares more on what this means for families across Belize.
The Ministry of Economic Transformation has been identified as the principal recipient to administer and manage global funds as of December 1st of 2025. So what we did with NHI is part of the implementation of an action plan that we have with the Global Fund. The fund has provided and will continue to provide financing for 3 years, and we have different partners and sub-recipients that will be benefiting from these funds. The Ministry of Economic Development, we are just the principal recipient, and we manage the funds on behalf of the Global Fund.
Up next, Young Legends is 2025 National Men's Softball Champions.
Accommodation License Renewal 2025 opens August 1st through the online portal. BTB is also having a license renewal clinic countrywide, starting August 15 in Orange Walk, then in Key Cocker, San Pedro, Hopkins, Placencia, Belize City, San Ignacio, Toledo, Corozal, and Belmopan. Remember, to successfully process your renewal at the clinic, managers with portal access must bring updated electronic copies of renewal requirements. Licenses will be ready the same day at the clinic. Accommodations operating beyond October 31st, 2025 without completing renewal process will receive a violation ticket. As stated in Section 12.5 of the Hotels and Tourist Accommodation Act, HTAA, operating without a valid license commits an offense. For more information, please contact our compliance officers at 227-2420 extension #290 or email hotels@BelizeTourismBoard.org. Renew your BTB accommodations license through the online portal starting August 1st, 2025, or look out for the renewal clinic near you.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
This is where blue innovation meets green ambition and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. This is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience. September 3rd to 5th, Sunset Caribbean, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Don't miss the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix Season 7 every Tuesday night at 8, live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GVM Studios in Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Belize Media.
Bringing people together.
Good evening, I am Paul Lopez and welcome to another exciting edition of Sports Monday. This weekend, the Belize Softball Federation brought the heat with its second straight National Men's Softball Championship, and Rogers Stadium was alive with action. From powerful hits to lightning-fast plays, the action was non-stop. But one team stole the spotlight, the Young Legends. These guys aren't just softball players, they're also baseball athletes in training, and they dominated the tournament without dropping a single game. Now let's dive into the highlights from the championship showdown between the Young Legends and the Guardian Bombers. Top of the first inning, Guardian Bombers' Shane Williams went up to bat. With runners on first and third, Williams connects. Steven Muerte Williams is out in second base, but Troy Williams makes it across the home plate. A good start for the Bombers. Young Legends Darrell Tillett up to bat with George Pershew in third. A beautiful hit from Tillett sending Pershew to home plate. The match is tied at 1 run apiece. Neither team made runs in the third inning, but they both scored 1 run each in the fourth. George Pershew in third with Darrell Tillett up to bat. Tillett sends the ball low into the left field. Pershew with a second run for the night for the Young Legends. A pop-up ball there from the Bombers. The pitcher and catcher go in for it and they both fumbled. Glenn Flowers on second base sees an opportunity to advance to third. The window to home then flung wide open with a missed throw. The game is tied at 2 runs apiece. Young Legends made 2 additional runs at the top of the fifth. Darren Campbell on first base with Javier Brito up to bat. Brito sent the ball to the fence with that hit and sent Campbell home. Brito steals to third, and then again, this time he went across the home plate. By the 7th inning, the Guardian Bombers were clearly running out of gas, while the Young Legends looked like they were just getting warmed up. With momentum on their side, the Legends exploded with 5 more runs, sealing the deal and walking away as the undisputed champions of the tournament. Here is more from one of the founding members of the team, Andrew Trammell.
This tournament was on our calendars and on our bulletin boards for a couple weeks now. We've been going through some stuff here within the parameters of Belize City, just fighting and battling every single day, going to practice, getting games called on us, people forfeiting and having all these rules come up on us. You know, we're not going to get too much into detail, but this is the culmination of everything we've been working for this whole summer.
A lot of people are asking, who's this team? Where are you guys from? What can you tell us briefly about this team?
I've been coming to Belize since 2016. My mother's from Belize City, right? George Street, another on Raccoon Street. And when I found out about no baseball here, I basically came here and I kind of forced that will. So right now we got a bunch of guys that are here. We're all developing baseball right here in this country. So I would say 85–90% of this team is that. Yeah, baseball players. So, you know, we bring a little extra intensity to that sport.
From the softball pitch to the basketball court, it was playoff weekend for the Belize Premier Basketball League. Friday night was electric as we caught the best of two clash between the Belize City Thunderbolts and the Capital City Kings. And let me tell you, the Thunderbolts came out swinging. Captain Victor Vito Evans was on fire, dropping 26 points. Ian Rene backed him up with 22 of his own, combining for a massive 48 points. That's nearly 70% of the Kings' total score. Evans wasn't just scoring either. He grabbed 10 rebounds and snatched 6 steals. And Matthew Young, he was a beast on the boards, pulling down 18 rebounds and adding 13 points for a solid double-double. On the Kings side, Brandon Flowers once again proved why he's their go-to guy, putting up 19 points and keeping his team in the fight. But in the end, Thunderbolts were just too much, cruising to a 96–68 victory. The Thunderbolts traveled to Belmopan on Saturday and ended the Kings' BPBL run for the 2025 season. The Thunderbolts will face off against the Kaya Western Ballers in the Maya Cup Championship Series. The Toucan Cup Championship Series is yet to be determined. The play-in series between the Dangriga Dream Ballers and the Punta Gorda Panthers are tied at 1 apiece. A third match is scheduled for Friday night in Dangriga. The winner will play San Pedro Tiger Sharks for the Toucan Cup. Belizean cyclist Eric Chavarria held the Belize flag high over the weekend after finishing 5th in the men's road race at the Junior Pan American Games in Paraguay. Mexico rode in first, followed by Uruguay, Argentina, and Colombia. We say a huge congratulations to Chavarria on such a stellar performance. Well, folks, that's all we have for you in tonight's coverage of Sports Monday. Catch you in the next one.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.